guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Terry, and I am on Weight Watchers, and I have just started recently posting daily videos on what I eat in a day on Weight Watchers. It is a full day of eating, plus any snippets that happen in my life. I live in Michigan with my husband Jerry, and we both are retired. We have a calico kitty named Miss Cali. So I was invited by Carrie from Weight Watchers with Carrie, and asked if I would like to do a collab, and I thought, sure, why not? So she sent my information to Sandy, who was hosting this, and Sandy is Life with Sandy, and she is the one that's doing the collab, and she called it an ace in the hole casserole. So she added me to the list, and here I am. So in my description box you will see everybody who's participating in this, and if you like what you see, please, I would love to have you subscribe to me and like and let me know. And we are going to be doing a tuna noodle casserole for our ace in the hole. It is something that we do make once a week. It's out of the Betty Crocker cookbook, the red cookbook, and I'll have the recipe and that excuse me, at the end of the video, so you can pause your video and then screenshot it. The original recipe, he made it for 2.5 servings, and when we figured it in the cookbook, it came up to 38 points, or 19 points per serving. So we both have got this cut down to 15 points a serving. So I am just going to hop right to the video, and thank you again for watching, and thank you to Carrie, and thank you again, Miss Sandy, for including me in this. So I'll chat with you guys later. Sorry, I'm nervous. So on our tuna casserole, what we use in it, and we make 2.5 servings, but we each take a serving, so there's always that half serving left over if anybody wants it for another day. So we've got the flour and the butter that will make a roux. These are the noodles that we use. We put in celery. We're using skim milk, Colby Jack cheese. We use a package of tuna, and we put in green or peas in it in ours. So I will take you right along and show you what is the next step.
Tablespoons of butter.
So Jerry always starts the water for the noodles, so he's got that going, and then he's going to, yes. So he's going to put into this pan here is the roux for it, which is 2 tablespoons of butter with the 2 tablespoons of flour. Once the butter is all melted, then we will add the flour to whisk it up, and then I will bring you back to the next step. So as this is getting ready to melt down, and you're waiting for that to start boiling, I've got our milk here. The milk will be added to the roux part once the flour goes in it. We are using, out of the red Betty Crocker cookbook, the tuna noodle casserole. But in the meantime, you'll cut up, how much celery again do you put in?
1 stalk.
Jerry usually puts in 1 stalk. He'll finely chop it to what we like right there. And then we will grate up the cheese, and that will go into the roux part of it too. So right now it's just a lot of busy work right now. So I'll bring you back when this gets all added. So now Jerry's going to add the celery to the butter. It is all melted, and we cook the celery, he says, about 4 to 5 minutes until it goes clear, as he puts it. And I will bring you back when we're at that point.
15 minutes.
Okay, so right now this is what you want. You want the water boiling, so you're going to be adding the noodles to it. And then we're going to cook this. We're going to reduce the heat, and we're going to cook that for 15 minutes. This is what the celery looks like right yet. It still needs to cook a little longer. So this is where we're at. Okay, so go ahead, babe. So Jerry's already put the tuna fish. He lightly coats the bowl, and then he adds the tuna fish, breaks it up some more, and then he used about half of that small can of peas because he's doing 2.5 servings. So right now our cheese is shredded. The noodles are boiling, and this is what the celery is looking at like. Okay, so this is what it should look like, the celery, and now Jerry's going to add in the 2 tablespoons of flour, and that's what's going to help thicken it up. And once he gets that all incorporated, you always like to cook it a little bit to get the taste of the flour out. And when he adds the milk to it, this is what's going to help thicken everything up for the casserole's base. And when he gets that all in there, I'll bring you right back. Okay, I forgot the spices. In there, each of these you add to your liquid where the milk and butter and celery is cooking right now. We added salt, pepper, and ground mustard, a quarter teaspoon of each. This is still cooking. We just preheated the oven. This is what it's starting to look like. So you just want to pay attention to this and mix it. It's going to start thickening up on you, and when it gets to the thickness that we usually like, I will show you what it looks like. I just want to show you what this is looking like. We still have like 7 minutes to go of everything to cook. But as you can tell, it's starting to thicken up. Once it gets thick, Jerry says you let it boil almost a minute.
Yep.
To help it. So, but we're keeping an eye on this because you do not want to scald the milk or anything in this. So I am going to continue to stir this as the noodles are cooking, and as Miss Cali is waiting for a treat from us. And I'll bring you back when we're ready to assemble all of this. Okay, so this is what it should look like. It's thickened right up. Now we're going to add the cheese to it. And melt that down. Your oven should be preheating at 350, and then this will bake in the oven 350. We usually do about 20 minutes because everything's cooked. You just want to heat everything through. But you can see how nice and thick that is. Okay, so now Jerry's going to drain the noodles, and then we're going to start assembling everything. So this is right here. This is quite thick with all the cheese and everything. So the next thing you do is once you drain your noodles, you're going to add it to your your bowl, and then he will add the sauce to it, and then just going to mix it up. And we're going to pop it in the oven, like I said, 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. He's a left-handy, so I got it hander, so I got to get on the opposite side. But you can see how thick that is. And Jerry has worked and worked and worked at getting this way down, because normally out of the Betty Crocker cookbook, if you made it exactly like they did, it was 19 points a serving. So he's got it cut down to 15, which is still good, because we have tried this with reduced cheeses. We've tried it with reduced butter that's not real butter, and it doesn't make a good roux, and we just like the full fat, so we try to do our best. So he's cut the cheese right down to only 1 ounce this time. But this is what it's going to look like, and it's going to pop into the oven. And I will show you the finished product when it's done. And this is what it looks like when it comes out. Nice and golden bubbly. Right, that is a serving. Jerry used a measuring cup. It was a heaping cup, as he would call it. But this is 15 points. It is a tuna noodle casserole. And this is what we are going to be having for our supper and for the Ace in the Hole collab.